Can I Heartseeker this? No. I mean, I can dream to kill an armored ogre in one hit. Probably never going to happen, but I can still dream of that happening. Okay, you need a heal. Especially since I've been picked up. Oh, kill it. Good. Did you turn off my weak points? What the fuck? Why do you think I have that turned on? Game, please. Game just does whatever it wants. I know I could change the tactics, but that would require me to go to the tactics menu, and that's a lot of work right there. I can just sit here and complain. It's fine. I know you all just love to hear me complain about the same thing over and over again. Don't knock me over. Dickbag. I think I missed everyone with that dual weapon swipe. You know, as you do. I think I missed more with that than I have, like, every other, you know, ability in the entire game. And there's still more people. Did Valena just light me on fire again? God damn it, Valena. Please. You gonna throw a fireball? Because that's the time you throw a fireball. Valena. Group heal would be nice. Pretty sure he has a Curse Morality on. So, how much longer with that? Maybe long enough to survive? Yeah, it is. Woo. Pretty sure I'm out of things to do. Not quite time with the group heal. Nope, group heal. Yeah, there we go. We are livers here, my friends. We are some damn fine livers. I don't know why I put that on her. Why'd you put a marker death on that guy? This guy should have no crystals. Well, what a dickbag. Having no crystals. Psst. What a scrub lord. I'm going to assume the last crystals in this flesh bod, please. I don't remember the exact location of every crystal, but there we go. Please work. Yeah, okay. So we got all the towers completed. If I wanted to, I could have become friends with the architect and we could have killed the mother together, but I chose not to because I was like, fucking, I don't want to make the Darkspawn smarter than they already are. I mean, Blights usually kill hundreds of thousands of people already. Why would I want to make my enemies smarter and, you know, more prepared for a fight than they already are? So I was like, you know what? As cool as it would be to stop the Blights, I don't want to have to deal with smarter Darkspawn because, as he said, there's a problem there. They're not all of them listen. So, you know, what's gonna stop them from attacking everyone? I guess I wasn't close enough. There you go. There's that ugly bitch. Still think I should censor her. But she's like 12 boobs, so I don't know.
The slayer of the mighty father, come to claim a reward. Oh, what a delicious day.
I've come to claim your fucking head.
This is the mother, surely. A disgusting thing of evil and hate.
By the ancestors, do all brood mothers smell this bad?
Creators preserve us. I have never seen such foulness.
Am I not beautiful?
No. You were correct. You're not beautiful.
Has the Grey Warden come now to slay the mother too? Will she join the father in oblivion?
You're very perceptive.
Then the silence ends here. Perhaps we will hear the song again when we die. Oh, let it come. Let it come.
Ew, fuck, every time. When she did that to me the first game, the first time I recorded this, it was like, fucking disgusted me. Alright, I gotta make sure everyone is attacking the right thing. Cause sometimes they don't. Oh, that's right, she got trained on mana again. Alright, so what do we want to do? Weakness? Yes. We'll group heal right now. And then click that. Which will make her go do this. Come on. Come on. I'm just gonna... I don't know what Poopbutt's doing. He's not doing anything. Actually, let's revive Sigrun instead. Alright. Poopbutt, you need to take a greater health potion. Sigrun, greater health potion. So this fight can do a lot of damage because I'm not focusing on... I'm not focusing on the tendrils, and there are like 6 of them, so there's a fuck ton of them. Yeah, no, turn off shadow form. Stop fucking doing that. Get a mark of death off before that fucking happens. There we go. Now I can actually start doing damage. Here we go. Everyone keeps fighting the tendrils, but I'm pretty sure the tendrils just come back, and I don't know what that fucking sound was. Yeah, the special abilities, I just click on them and they work. Fear Nature's Wrath, got it. Let's put another weakness on. Oh, it crashed! Woo! Don't you just love when you crash in a boss fight? I'm pretty sure which game crashed earlier? One sec, there was a second game that crashed. Was it Dragon Age? Was Dragon Age the second? There was a game that crashed on me once before. The worst part is I now have to redo that entire fight. Fuck. This is a giant clusterfuck of fire. Jesus. Okay, well, that worked. A lot better than I expected it to. Holy fuck, are you serious right now? When did these fuckers come out? Okay, come on. Come on, guys. We got this. We can do this, I swear.
It will be done.
Okay, just chug all the potions. I'm about ready to throw down another Inferno, but don't know if it's needed. It'll probably guarantee the fight. There we go. Just clusterfuck of fire my way to victory. That's even the cutscene. That's nice. We're all on fire. Yep. I'm gonna do this while on fire. Fuck, dude. That is some hardcore. That's some hardcore shit right there. To be able to kill a broodmother while on fire. Even Justice is like, guys, I know I'm in a dead body, but we are on fire, right? Or like, fucking walk away all badass. Just like, guys, fire, please. All the enemies are still there. But yeah, that is the end as we leave the burning corpse. So after the deaths of both the Architect and the Mother, nearly all the remaining Darkspawn fled back into the Deep Roads. The raids in Amaranthine came to an abrupt end. Although some of the Architect's disciples likely escaped into the Deep Roads with the rest of his brethren, they have, so far, shown no inclination towards vengeance against the Grey Wardens who killed their savior. Yet the Deep Roads remain plagued by the Darkspawn, and it seems that in time another blight will begin. The danger may have passed for now, but the cycle of the old gods continue. So yes, I didn't stop the eventual blights. But, that being said, I didn't allow the Darkspawn to become super smart and intelligent. Because what would have happened is that once we gave them all, free thinking and speech, they'd start acting out on their own, they'd start doing crazy, stupid shit like the Mother. Like, what would happen then? It's not technically a blight, I know, but, like, who are we supposed to trust with the Darkspawn? I didn't want to go that far. Word of the Grey Warden's heroic salvation of Amaranthine spread like wildfire. When the magnitude of the losses that Vigil's Keep came to light, sympathy drove generous donations from all over Ferelden into the region's coffers. Amaranthine was restored to her former glory within a year, Vigil's Keep in 5. So, we weren't able to save the Keep, but we were able to return her to her former glory 5 years after this event. So, not bad. I'd say pretty worth. Because of the Warden's support of law and order in Amaranthine, Constable Aiden and his men were able to distribute the smuggler's goods to the battered survivors in the grueling days that followed the Darkspawn defeat. So, we did good there. The Darkspawn messenger sent free after joining the Wardens in the Battle of Amaranthine struck out on his own. The city buzzed with stories of a cloaked but lisping figure who aided travelers in danger. At the same time, reports of isolated cases of the Darkspawn disease emerged. No one connected the two. So, we did let the messenger go, and he does help people, which is nice. It's a good thing to see. But I may have got a few people diseased, or yeah, may have given a few diseases to a few people. So, I'd say that's an okay ending for the Darkspawn messenger. He didn't go back to the Deep Roads. He's been helping out a few people. The war devastated the farmholds of the Arling, but the land survived. In time, the opportunity would attract settlers from other regions, as always. So, the land may be destroyed right now, but it gets better. It gets repaired. The Vigil's keep stood alone against a horde of Darkspawn. The Mother's forces outnumbered the Vigil's defenders many times over. This is where things go bad. But the sturdy dwarven walls proved impervious to any boulder an ogre could throw. The Vigil soldiers, clad in silverite, each felled a dozen Darkspawn before they died. The Vigil held one night, then two, then a week, and eventually the attacking horde broke upon her walls. The keep developed an almost mythic reputation, the few survivors immortalized in song and legend. Okay, so this only happens if you fully upgrade the wall's defense and the armor of your soldiers, which I did throughout the DLC. When I talked to the dwarf, and he's like, "Yo, dude, I need like 30 gold or something," or like, no, it's closer to 80 or something. He needed a shit ton of gold. I remember that, and I was like, "Whoa, dude, calm down." But I eventually ended up paying him. That's why the walls are able to defend. It also says there are a few survivors, so I think they'll explain who they are. Peace allowed the Wardens to replenish their numbers. Soon, Vigil's Keep bore a capable armory with the Wardens at its core. From the ranks emerged new heroes to challenge threats to Amaranthine and all Ferelden. So, we may not have been able to defend the Keep before. We saved the town started to prosper, and we were able to rebuild our entire force in Ferelden, which is very nice. So we are prepared for the next fight, hopefully. That all being said, hopefully. Through taxes and levies, the Vigil was rebuilt. Years later, Voldrik Galvanok, that's the guy that was the dwarf I was talking about, stood on the battlements and pronounced that the defenses were acceptable. He would never speak more highly of any human engineering. So, fuck yeah, we defended. That's nice. Some nobles claim that the Grey Wardens were involved in Ban Esmeralda's disappearance on the eve of the final battle against the Darkspawn. Dark whispers hint the conspiracy to oust the Warden from Amaranthine was still afoot. So this is the assassination attempt that I handled so fucking poorly. Where I walked back in and who is it? Varlin got shot in the arm, and we had to fight a bunch of nobles. That was right after the Peasants' Revolt. This is why things went bad. The conspiracy is still afoot. You know, it's not good. It's not good. But I could have handled that better. But I'm pretty sure if I didn't put down the Peasant Revolt right then and there as aggressively as I did, I'm pretty sure it says something like the peasants keep coming back and they keep trying to revolt. It'll get worse until they get put down like that. So, I still would have no bloodshed. Dwarven Galvanok, that's the guy with the lyrium bombs, further refined his lyrium sand explosives, but left the Warden's employ after Qunari mercenaries tried to assassinate him. Although the Dwarven Bombardier took his secrets with him, the learned say he left clues for others to follow in his footsteps. I honestly have no idea who these Qunari mercenaries are, but I don't think there's a way to prevent this from happening. So they tried to assassinate him. The Vigil soldier, wearing the distinctive silverite armor, which we found, that Master Wade crafted, or we found the silverite and made Wade craft shit, came to be known as the Silver Order. Under the tutelage of the Wardens, the Silver Order developed into one of Ferelden's most revered military forces, a lasting memory of the Vigil's famous commander. So we did good there. We did good. So this is Velena's story, which hopefully is better. With Velena and the Architect gone from the region, the Pilgrim's Path. Oh, this is the Pilgrim's Path. The Pilgrim's Path began to see traffic again. The massacre of the militiamen and the merchants, however, led to hostilities between the neighboring human settlements and any Dalish clans that passed by. I don't know if that's unavoidable. There you go. Hopefully. One human villager soon kidnapped and murdered a Dalish child. The clans reacted by giving the Wending Woods a wide berth, but both sides know at some point the elves will return for revenge. So some dickbag had to go and ruin my fucking hard-ass work by killing a Dalish child. What a dickbag. Scumbag. A few years after Kal Haral emptied of Darkspawn, Orzammar began sending expeditions to rediscover the knowledge of smithing that had been lost within the Taig. Eventually, House Helmi decided that Kal Haral was too important to be abandoned. At a tremendous cost of dwarven lives, they cleared the tunnels leading to Kal Haral of all Darkspawn, making the road between Orzammar and the fortress safe again. Kal Haral was reclaimed for Orzammar once and for all. So this is, I wouldn't say a happy story because a bunch of dwarves had to die for this place, but they were able to reclaim part of their homeland and get back, part of their history, which is pretty cool. As promised, Voldrick and Dworkin presented Orzammar a shaperette, with the stone marker that told of how Kal Haral's Castles had taken up arms against the Darkspawn. The commander of the Grey was invited to Orzammar as a guest of honor at a feast commemorating the defenders of Kal Haral. The Shaper read the names of the Castles off the marker, then presided over a ceremony to return them to the stone as befitted warriors of their statue. So that's nice. They were able to get their what they deserved, really, because they fucking fought a bunch of Darkspawn. In time, the Arling began to forget the tales of apparitions in the Black Marsh, and ever so slowly, settlers drifted into the region. Scholars said that the veil was still thin, and thus the area was still a little dangerous. But the people only cared that they were no longer frightened whispers in the shadows. The village was slowly rebuilt. Twice the Baroness's mansion was rebuilt and occupied, once by a wealthy merchant, and another time by an Orlesian mage. Both died mysteriously. Afterwards, the mansion was torn down completely, and the site was left untouched. So I hope that means just the mansion part of the city, not just the actual village. But we'll see. So this is all the stories. The survivors of the siege at Vigil's Keep hailed Anders and his magic for holding back hundreds of the assaulting Darkspawn. In the ensuing victory celebration, the men dragged the mage to the fire, engaged him in a drinking contest. Anders lost. So Anders survived the fight, and he killed a shit ton of people. So, woo! Anders remained with the Grey Wardens a few years longer, training with the Order's next generation of mages. But when the Circle Tower called on him to deliver a lecture on the nature of the architect, much to the Templars' dismay, Anders told the commander of the Grey that his time with the Wardens was over. And yet, not too much later, Anders returned to the Order. Ever after, the Wardens were his home and his lasting companions. So Anders stayed by her side. It's so adorable. He went off, had a small vacation for 2 months at the Circle or something important, but came back and he was like, "Yo guys, you guys keep it real. We homies, we stick together." So Anders has a nice happy ending. Velena never saw her clan again, but neither did she forsake the Dalish nature, nor her sharp tongue, nor her quick temper. Yeah. So, she's learned not to piss people off, which is nice. Velena's interaction with the other Grey Wardens changed her opinion on humankind significantly. Shortly after the Mother's defeat, the Darkspawn stragglers who still remained on the surface attacked a human village. Velena was the only warden nearby and defended that village single-handedly, and she did not sneer once, which is very impressive on multiple occasions. First, she defended an entire village by herself. Second off, she didn't sneer once? That's just crazy to me. I don't even... That's progress right there. Velena scoured the Mother's lair for signs of her sister, but It was as though Serani had vanished into thin air. Velena blamed the Warden Commander for choosing to kill the Architect, certain that the Architect would have released her sister if he lived. This remained a source of friction for as long as Poopbutt and Velena knew each other. So, not a happy ending for Velena. She didn't get to be reunited with her sister, although she did learn not to hate humans, which is nice. I don't know. I still think we should have killed the Architect, you know. Nathaniel managed to survive the Battle of Vigil's Keep, leading a spirited defense in the last minutes to protect his family's home. That ferocity impressed many of his fellow soldiers, who hoisted him up on their shoulders and paraded him around the courtyard when the battle was done. After spending a number of years with the Wardens, Nathaniel realized that the life was not for him. He said goodbye to his sister Delilah and his nephew, then left to seek his fortune. In time, that nephew became a Grey Warden himself, in emulation of Nathaniel, and then rose to Warden Commander. He brought honor to the How name once again. So, Nathaniel had a pretty okay ending. He went to find his fortune. I don't know if he's going to be in another game or not, but his nephew brought honor back to the How name, which is really cool. That's what he wanted, so good on him. Justice served the Grey Wardens for many years, remaining in touch with Aura, the widow of Kristoff. She grew uncomfortable with the body's decay, however, and the day she told Justice she could see him no longer was the day he left the Order. Justice wished his comrades well, then Kristoff's body slumped to the ground dead. Aura finally had a body to mourn. If the spirit itself remains alive, it showed no sign, it had not shown itself. So Kristoff is technically dead. Kristoff has been dead from the beginning, but Justice is no longer in the world. I mean, we knew that that day was more than likely going to come to happen, you know, because the fact that he's a spirit from the Fade, so he's not exactly human. This way, it's a nice ending. He got to serve, and then once Aura was ready to bury his her husband, she let him. Or he let her. So, with the mother dead, Sigrun seemed to lose her purpose. She withdrew from her friends in the Order and spoke to them less and less each day. One morning, Sigrun was simply absent. Her bed made and her trunk emptied. A young recruit who had been up in the night said she had left for her calling, gone to finish what she started and call her all. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna go back. So Sigrun is surprisingly hard to keep alive. For what I said earlier, she's part of the Legion of the Dead, which states that you have to fight the Darkspawn until you die, essentially. And I think there's one ending where she doesn't die. That's when you're like, I think you have to defend the Vigil's Keep and say, like, I don't want to lose any more friends, to convince her or something. And I think at the end it's like, oh, the Warden Commander would always find work for her to keep doing, so she would never leave. But I think that's the only way to survive, which is really unfortunate, because I like Sigrun. She was always perky and nice. So at Vigil's Keep, Oghren rallied a last-minute defense of the gate, taking 2 ogres to allow others time to regain the courtyard. He eventually passed out from blood loss, and when he awoke 2 weeks later, nobody was more surprised than he to discover he had been credited as a hero. Oghren continued to regale young wardens recruits with tales of his prowess in both battle and bed, of course. His drinking games prompted at least one recruit to declare that she'd rather reattempt the joining than lift another mug. That's good old Oghren. At the Warden Commander's urging, Oghren took a more active role in his child's life. He visited Felsi often and wrote letters, which the Warden Commander graciously proofread nearly every week. This I did not get because I wasn't able to complete Oghren's side quest before finishing the game, so it's nice to see this. What I got was, because I didn't talk to him, he stopped visiting, Felsi stopped visiting the castle less and less often, and what ended up happening was, she left. She just never came again. and it's like if Ogren cared, he didn't seem to show it, and it was really, really sad. And I was like, I need to do your side quest. I'm sorry. So I'm glad we have a happier ending for him. As a savior of the Ferelden, he did not remain as the commander for the Grey for long. The Darkspawn were no longer a real concern. The Blight truly over. It was time for him to move on. Some claim the commander reunited with a red-haired bard known as Liliana, and that they ventured together. The pair were spotted together in Denerim a year after the Blight's end. No matter the truth, the commander never did return to Vigil's Keep. So we have a happy ending. We get to go back to Liliana. And we're watching this cutscene again? Okay, I guess we're watching the cutscene again. Fuck you, mother. Tell me I didn't glitch out. The fire tornado is gone. Okay, there he goes. I was like, oh, what's going on? But yes, that is the end of Dragon Age Awakening. For the most part, we had some rather happy endings. Anders was probably the happiest. Nathaniel was okay, although we don't know exactly what happened to him. We just know that the How name gets, better. Let's see, who else? Velena's very hard, because if I side with the Architect, that's a whole other fucking buttload of trouble I gotta worry about. And I think that's like one of the major things of the friction between us, is just that I didn't side with the Architect, and she couldn't find her sister. Which is very unfortunate, but I don't know. I mean, she survived. Not her sister, but she survived. Sigrun, I'm never really ever, I don't think I'm ever, like I said, I don't think I'm ever going to save her because there's like one quote I have to say in order to prevent her from dying, which is very, very hard to trigger, which is unfortunate because Sigrun was pretty cool. Justice was always going to go back to the Fade, more or less often than not. I think the other option for him is not like just disappearing once she said, I can't look at your decomposing body anymore. I think it's like one day he just walked up to her house, said goodbye, and then like slumped over and died. Either way, he was going back to the Fade. But it was nice to have him. All the characters were really cool to have. And I think Ogren, what's most annoying about Ogren is, one, it's very hard to get his approval up. Second off, I have to regain all of my approval from the original game. They didn't carry over the Origins approval, which would have made things a hell of a lot easier. But yeah, overall the characters were pretty cool. I really liked them all. And the story was really interesting. The fact that the Darkspawn are like gaining intelligence and that you can either potentially stop further blights or while giving them freedom of thought, or continue the old cycles of the gods. It was a cool twist. One of my biggest concerns, though, is that they introduced the spirits into the story. First time that I've heard of spirits in Dragon Age, outside of demons in the Fade. And they never really explained much about them. They were just like, hey, look, not everything in the Fade wants to murder your face off. Now he's your teammate. I was like, oh, okay. Although he did fill the role of what I wanted the Darkspawn, the first one, to be in the group. The guy who's like struggling with reality, trying to figure out if being alive is a good thing. You know, the whole because I wanted the first one to join our team because having if I remember correctly, if I've got my lore down, the Darkspawn are corrupted humans because Tevinter mages were like, yo, let's try and fuck with heaven. And they got punished for it. So I wanted to see, like, the first one, after he gets betrayed by the mother, to be like, fuck the mother, and then starts, like, questioning. Like, he learns about the Tevinter mages, and he's like, so am I, like, a tainted human? Starts questioning his humanity. I don't know, that just seems really, really cool to me. But Justice was a close second of interest, because he's a spirit, and those were, like, just thrown out of the fucking wazoo. Just like, hey, spirits, they've never entered the real world before. Let's see how he does it. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Let's see. Most of the combat system is similar to the first game. That would be the Origins version. If I ever call it the first game, I'm talking about the Origins. They did add like several three specializations for each class, and then like a couple extra abilities, which is nice. Because there's a bunch of shit to do in this game. I think total it was about over 10 hours worth of content, which is nice. It's always good when DLC is like a fifth of the actual game. Because I think the main game was like over 100 parts, right? And this is like close to 50. So not even that's like a half. That's like a half of the actual main game. For like a third of the price, would have been great. But yeah, so lots of content, lots of running around. What else can I say about the DLC? I would have liked more of upgrading the buildings, because the upgrades that we did was find Silverite, and get Dworkin to build bigger walls. That was it. I would have liked like a whole table we could have like sat down and like in the third game where you can sit down and like start plotting things out. Have more of a political side to it. This is just DLC. I'm just, saying that it's a good DLC, but here's some other things you could have added. Because they did have some political things. They had a couple of times where I sat down and had to decide something. That was cool. I wish there was more of that. There was more of like a way to upgrade like things I could buy. Because I had a shit ton of money. I had like 400 gold or something. And I was like, what am I supposed to spend this on? I haven't found any good armor. I have like a shit ton of health potions. I don't know what to spend this gold on. So I would have liked to be able to do something. Maybe build like expansions to the keep or something. I don't know. Still pretty good. What else? I like the decision to save the Amaranthian or the keep, which is pretty cool. A lot of the decisions in this game are like really interesting. And there are a few characters that you can just like straight up not even know that are like can be a part of your team. Like Sigrun, who I completely walked by the first time, and actually went back to go grab her before the end of the game. You can do the same thing with Justice. You can completely like skip over the fact that Justice is there. The only difference is if you think that her cracked rib, Sigrun's cracked rib, is too much of a problem, you would never have known that you're supposed to, or you could have recruited her. Whereas with Justice, once you come back to the human world, he's like, dude, what the fuck do I do? I'm in a dead body. I don't understand. You can like let him join. They still explain what happens to them after the end of the game if you don't let them join. I think some of the wardens tell a story about a perky dwarf in the deep roads. That's the word. And then with Justice, I think it's something along the lines of some random guy would repair like gravestones and stuff like that. I think there's one ending where Verlaine goes back onto a rampage and she starts killing more of the people on the Pilgrim's Path, which I'm glad that I avoided. Although she still fucking hates me for not picking the Architect. I don't know. It was a really difficult choice because part of me is like, well, if I can stop the blights, that means that there should never be a blight. But if I make my enemies smarter, then there could be a bigger shitstorm coming my way. Because, as you said, it's sort of like a cycle. They find the old gods, they come out of the ground, we kill them all until they're defeated, and then they go back underground to find the old gods to come back out. So, we still technically win if the cycle is to be continuous. So if I make my enemies smarter, cut out the old gods where they can just be like, yeah, we're just gonna like amass a giant army and go up and kill everyone, then we're gonna have some fucking problems. Because he said, the Architect said that he he doesn't wish to rule over the Darkspawn. He just wants to free them. And we've seen how vicious the Darkspawn are in general, but now we have Darkspawns who are vicious with freedom of thought. It's a dangerous mix. So it's a cool idea. What else about the story? There was one thing. I already said my bit about Justice, how it's kind of weird that they just threw spirits in. I liked it. It was interesting, but I wish there was more than a small explanation and like a codex, because you know there's gonna be one guy's like, well, if you just read the codex about the spirits, you would fucking understand. They didn't just throw it into the game. But I don't think they've ever mentioned about spirits in number 2 or 3, and I have played both of those. So, speaking of Dragon Age 2, I was thinking about diving back into that instead of doing the Dishonored DLC. I was thinking about just diving into Dragon Age 2, because Dragon Age Inquisition is a very, very, very long game, and I'm wondering if I should live stream most of it, because it's very open worldy. It feels almost like an MMO, so I feel like I should, I wouldn't have all too much interesting things to say about it throughout the game. So I was thinking that I should live stream it instead, and at least have people to talk to. Be like, yes, how are you all? Instead of just like, I'm collecting this elf fruit for the 400th billionth time. This is some very nice elf fruit. I don't know. I'm probably going to stick with the Dishonored DLC, though, because Dishonored 2 looks great, and I want to play more Dishonored. If they can deliver what they did in the demo, with the time travel and the dark Emily, like the evil side of Emily, I'm so down for that shit. But yeah, that's it for Dragon Age Awakening. It's been interesting, to say the least. It's been real interesting. I thought that was going to be a little faster, but apparently not. Never mind. As I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to be jumping into Dragon Age 2 or Dishonored. More than likely Dishonored, because I get to play as the bad guy in Knife and Dunwall. So, that's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, so, hope you guys enjoyed my walkthrough of this so far. Hope you guys stick around. But yes, that's going to be it for me right now. Like, people, subscribe, you know the YouTube stuff, it's like whatever. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. I will see you guys later, so have a good day, good night, good evening, good afternoon, good twilight, whatever time it is, you time wizards. And I will see you on the next time.